Stop focusing on distractions and focus on you. That's a bar. Ugh. Look, this has been something that's kind of like hit home close to me a lot lately. I feel like, especially like towards like the back half of like last year, and then sort of like the beginning of this year, I was getting distracted with the wrong things, people that like I shouldn't have necessarily been associating myself with, and for the sole reason that it was taking my energy and my time away from the things that I really want to do. So this like distractions, it can be anything. It could go as far as like women, men, I guess for the ladies, or guys. I mean, video games, watching television, partying, drinking, smoking. It could be anything along the lines, or anybody that can take you away from your true purpose. I think that it's so easy nowadays to get distracted too. Oh, and another big one, social media. But it's so easy to get distracted nowadays because of all these like factors that are surrounding everybody now. Like you can, dude, like there's so many things that can take your, take your mind off of just being present. And it's just oversaturation of everything. Like there's just so much to choose from. Like there's just so much to do now. Like in today's like society, there's just so much shit to do, so many people to see, that it's just so easy to get distracted. But something that I really learned, like especially recently, is that all that stuff, or people that like you want to associate yourself with, like that shit is always gonna be there. And you know exactly, like if this resonates with you, you know exactly what I mean by that. That stuff will always be there. So let me narrow it down to like three simple things, right? I'll do women, I'll do partying, and I'll do, let's just say, for the sake of things, I'll just do social media, right? These three things alone, well, women aren't a thing, but you know what I mean. Like these three, like distracting factors for, a young man like yourself, are huge distractions to some. Now others can find the time. Like it's so different. Like everybody's story and path is so different. But at least for me, I find it that these three are like very distracting to me, like extremely distracting. And it's so easy to get off track, because you just you're young, you want to have fun, you want to do like all these things, but then you realize, like at the end of the day, you're like, damn, like there's something that I truly do want, and it's to whatever vision or God has shown you, or whatever passion it is that you have. It's like that thing that you truly want in your life, that you're trying to accomplish. That's like your main focus. And you beat yourself up about it when you realize, like, holy fuck, I've been distracting myself with all these things that have been taking me away from like this path that I'm trying to go down. And it really took a lot for me to engrave it in my head that all those things are always going to be there. Like everything, it's all going to be there, right? So I do social media, as like, that's like my kind of career path right now. And I kind of have to be on it in a sense, because it's like I have to post consistently, you know what I mean, to be able to grow and kind of get my name out there. But in that like same perspective, it's like I don't have to spend my entire day mindlessly scrolling, you know what I mean, on that shit. Like I can focus and do the things that I'm supposed to do. I can upload and I can get off, but it's so easy, and it's so easy to just get lost, just scrolling, and that's why it's so easy for people nowadays to just get stuck in the matrix and you know just be an NPC. Like it's a real thing, like being stuck and stuff, and like our minds are so programmed now to just live a specific life, live a specific way, and be content with it. It's hard to really break that mold too, and I've finally broken that mold, and it took me a while. Like it wasn't something that just happened overnight, but like I was finally able to break that mold and stay focused, realize that that stuff is always going to be there, and it's not something that's super important to me. And what I have done that I am very proud of is that, like, when I'm out in public now, when I'm out about doing like random things, whether it be with friends or like anything in general, I am completely off of my phone. Like, you will not see me on my phone in public. I am completely off of it. When I upload after like a specific time in the day, you won't see me on my phone for the rest of the day. Like, I have trained myself to disconnect from technology like that, and I'm telling you, it feels so much better. Like, I feel so much more free, mentally, and physically too, because when you're mindlessly scrolling, when you're constantly on something, like you're stuck, you're just in one place. But yeah, so for that, and then another thing, partying. Like, I'm not even a big partier like that. I just kind of threw that in there because I feel like it's a very generalized thing, honestly. But like that kind of, like that scene, you know what I mean? Like the scene of just being out and about and like feeling like you have to be doing something consistently, whether it like is drinking, like with people, smoking with people, doing shit with people, like going out and about and like clubbing, or like just like things that like you don't necessarily have to do, but you just feel like you have to do it to have fun. Breaking out of that mold, I think, can be tough for some people, but at the end of the day too, it's like some people don't like that shit too, and it's a blessing if you're not really a big fan of like doing that stuff anyways, because it just makes it so much easier to focus. And the thing is, for me, is I've never been like that kind of person too, like ever, like in my entire life. I've never like doing that shit, like partying, going out, doing nothing. But when I finally left like a very long-term relationship, I was finally able to explore doing different things and like going about like just experiencing things. And it's super fun to do that kind of stuff too, but it's also easy to get lost in the sauce, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to just kind of go down a path where like you're always trying to find that high in terms of like having fun, you know what I mean? Like and for some people it's like they feel like, especially like people can't, like there's some people that when they're alone, like they can't enjoy being alone by themselves. Like they have to, like they feel like they have to be around people because they just feel like they can't. I don't know. It's like that whole like psychological like idea of like not being able to be with yourself like alone. Like, it really hits home for some people because some people just can't do that. And in the beginning it was like that. Like, I felt like that because I had been in a relationship for so long. So it's like I wasn't used to being alone, like by myself for real, like that. But over time, like I found a rhythm with things and found that I love being by myself. Like, that shit is like, I love like my time to myself, like it really feels like good, like being in my own space, having my own thoughts, not having anybody around me, like in general, put ideas or anything. Like, it's just me, and that shit felt like amazing. And I've learned to just love being by myself, and it helps me focus. Like, being on my own helps me focus. Like, I can do so much more when I'm by myself because it's just me, and I know that like my time like now is like my most important currency. Like, it's more important than money. Like, my time is so important, you know what I mean? Like, it's because it's when I get all my stuff done, you know what I mean? Like, all the things that I'm working hard for. So just that whole concept, that whole idea, I think, and yeah, that's also a very like, oh my god, there's just so much things I want to go off on, and I'll make another video about it, but like, yeah, your time is so important, really. Your time is so valuable, especially in today's world, because like I feel like if there's any time for you to grow, like with whatever it is you want to do with your life, or things you want to experience, like now is the time, because everybody is so stuck in the matrix. Like seriously, like everybody is so stuck, like just stuck, you know. And I feel like if you can break that mold and, you know, find yourself in the process, like you can do so much. My life has changed so much within a year, and that's like I'm barely scratching the surface, you know what I mean? Like I'm just getting started and I've already accomplished so much. And it's not like bragging or anything, it's just like that's just like you can do that shit too, you know what I mean? Like if you really like focus that time and energy into things that are important, you know, whether rather like being distracted. And that, you know, kind of ties into like my last thing, like women, you know, for some people it's like a big issue, but for others, and let me just generalize it on it honestly. So like men or women, like putting your time into people that you know you don't want to spend the rest of your life with, you know what I mean? Like I like was in a situation where, like, getting out of a long-term relationship, I never like really experienced anything outside of it, you know what I mean? So like you want to experience things and stuff, and then you realize the more and more like you experience things, like it becomes less valuable, because you're just like, how is me giving myself to all these like all like these women, like what is, like how is that benefiting me, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't, like it's not very special, I feel, you know, if you're just giving yourself to everybody. So I'm glad I found it, like this mindset, like now, is that like I don't give a fuck about like fucking around with like nobody. Like I could give two shits, like unless like, you know, God forbid, like God puts a female in my life that, like, you know, things work out, like okay, cool. But you know, a big thing with me too is just like I did a lot of things in the past that I'm not very proud of, and I would never want to put like anybody through that kind of stuff again. I feel like, and my friend, shout out my boy Carlos, put this like idea in my head. It's like your body's like a temple, and you know, if the temple's all run down and shitty and stuff, you think anybody wants to be in that? So like think of it like you as a person like are like your own temple, right? So you want to invite somebody into your temple to be a part of it and to live within you. Like you would want it to be super clean, you would want it to just be, you just want to be like it to be the best version. And so I take that as like significant like mindset, like I want to be the best version of myself before I even like give myself to somebody else again, you know what I mean? I think that that's so much more important, because why would I give my energy and all these things that like about me, like to somebody who isn't really gonna appreciate it, you know what I mean? It's like I've found like that self-love is like that, like I feel like I am a gem now, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that good about myself, that like I'm like a diamond in the rough. And that's how you should feel. Like you should feel like that about yourself, and stuff. Like you shouldn't just want to give yourself to anybody, you know. You should just want to be, you know, in your purest form, the best version of yourself. And you know, when the time is right, God will present the right person for you, you know. So that's what I'm saying, just be patient, take things a day at a time, and you know, just go about life like that. Like getting distracted, like I said, is so easy nowadays with people and with things in general. So focus your time and your energy on things that are important to you. Stop worrying about any of these outside factors. Like all these things, all these people, they're always going to be there at the end of the day. They're always going to be there. Like if like that fun that you're searching for and stuff, that will always be there. Focus on what is important and is going to get you to the next, you know, like big step in your life, to the next like level. Focus on that, and you know, see where God takes you. So Yeah. Give me a hug. I'll give you a hug goodbye, okay? A virtual hug, okay? See? I smell good, right? Okay. All right. All right, deuces.